I'm Stevie Newton and I'm a double bass player in the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra, and I'm here tonight at the Melbourne Grand Prix in the Glamour on the Grid. I'm taking my new clothes on a bit of a test drive for the second time. Actually, I had the privilege of wearing them at the Melbourne Fashion Festival, and I'm wearing two pieces that were designed by students from RMIT.
The MSO approached the School of Fashion and Textiles with a brief to define the MSO with a Melbourne look. So the brief for this project was that the students would design a kind of capsule of garments that the musicians could integrate into their performance wardrobe. So the students' response to the brief was to attend a concert series at the MSO. So this meant that they had to attend a concert series where they saw the various dress codes in performance mode and then come up with some propositions that the musicians could integrate into this wardrobe that they already had established.
Because I go to the concert to analyze the musicians, I saw them maybe stand for 1 or 2 hours or sit down for 1 or 2 hours. So first thing I think about is comfort.
Apart from the concert series, the students undertook a series of interviews with the orchestra members to find out what their needs were.
I think it's very useful for me, and I study a lot of things and in deep conversations because I want to make the garment comfortable and freedom of the movement.
At the beginning, we talk about what they need. It must be very normal, but beautiful, but wearable, but comfortable. Yeah.
I asked the musicians about what's their previously experience when they dressing before the old performers' outfits and what parts they feel discomfort. And I want to deal with this problem, and I add my design into these outfits.
This was a great collaboration because the end results were a series of garments that would probably appear quite traditional, but when you saw them being performed, you could see things like that they would have godets or extra additional kind of pieces of fabric embedded in side seams or underarms. They had kind of a mixture of performance, sportswear kind of materials integrated into tailoring fabrications. There were also these really interesting techniques. So Maxine's skirt, for instance, used a special pleating technique which could expand and retract with the body.
Yeah, I make the diamond pleated fabric for the dress, and I heard the musicians' feedback is positive, and they want to see more applications for this fabric in different parts on the outfits.
So they really did consider the performers' requirements when they were kind of working with the garments. The goal of this collaboration, it was really impactful because I'm somebody that's worked in industry for over 20 years, and this was like an industry simulated experience. So they can probably now comfortably understand what it is to go out there and be given a brief and how you would respond to that, as opposed to working on a project that is specifically their creative project that they have developed the research around, they've developed all of the propositions that come out and the outcomes for their own creative project. This is like driven by an organisation.
Previously, I designed just from my opinion and from my feeling from myself. But this time, it's gave me more chance to communicate with the wearers and ask them and develop my design in every communication and meetings. So this teach me how to work in future when I doing my job. It's a good start for me.
It's quite amazing for students to see their work in action somewhere like on the stage at the Melbourne Fashion Festival or potentially at Glamour on the Grid as part of the Grand Prix. It actually gives context to the whole project that they've done. So they're seeing it come to life. So they're seeing the genesis of it in the classroom or in those original meetings with the MSO, to complete fruition where they're seeing the garments being performed by the musicians. Things like this, they really help the students to learn to work with a set of parameters and to work with other people. So to actually kind of that working with the musicians is to understand what the requirements and their needs are. In a way, working with musicians is very different to designing for fashion, for a fashion brand, for instance. You know, there's a lot more things we have to take into consideration, that is the performing of the instruments, and every instrument is so different in its requirement. A double bass player has a very different requirement to a violinist, to maybe somebody in the timpani or percussion section. That was something that they really had to kind of grapple with through this project.
I think fashion is an extension of the music performance, like enhancing the musician's stage presence and to show the music's themes and the emotions to the audience.
I just wanted to thank the students for their hard work and brilliant designs, and hopefully it might lead the orchestra into a new world of what we perform in, and I really look forward to assisting and working with the students again in the future.